Morning everyone, DiamondPeta here. How are you all? I'm going to do a bit of a kit up this morning for you and have a little bit of a chat to you about what went on before I went to hospital, and I have a shout out as well today for a channel. So first of all, I'm going to be doing this. Now I don't think there's a full picture on the box. So sorry about my throat. It's early morning here and I've just had coffee and I've got a bit of a frog in the throat. So this is the box that came in from Temu. There's no picture on here of what it's supposed to look like. There is an unboxing of this on my channel if you'd like to go and check it out. So this is like a little stand, like a mini table. So these are the pieces. You diamond paint both sides, you join them together and stand them up, and then you get this piece here. You peel the plastic off both sides and then that will sit on there. So these pieces here, I don't know if you can see that, there's a slit. They will go on top of here when I'm done, and it will be like a little stand. So I'm going to keep this on my craft desk with some things on it. I think it looks very cute. So yeah, so that's what we're kitting up today. I'm going to start this one. I want to get it done. I know it's got Easter eggs and that on it, but I don't care. It'll look nice for spring. We're going into August very shortly, which is our last month of winter here in Australia. And then September, 1st of September is the 1st of spring. So I'd love to be able to use this for spring. So yeah, that's the plan. So what I'm using to kit up my diamonds are these little containers here. I have a stand over here with the containers in it. I got this here my daughter actually got it for me, from Kmart here in Australia a while ago. Don't know if they still have them or not, but yeah, they're really good just to keep on your desk, just to put little projects in. This is not going to take long, I don't think so. And I only need, I think there's 12 colours. So I'm only going to need 12 of these little containers. So what I will do is I'm going to put the diamonds in here, then I cut that piece out and sit that on top, so I know that that will be A. I could probably write on these, but I'm not going to. I'm just going to do it this way today. Something quick. So I hope you're all well. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to give a bit of a shout out to a channel. Now, I've watched this lady a few times. I'm not sure when her channel started. Sorry, frog this morning. I did have a look to see, she's been going for a little while, since this year I think, with her channel. So that's all I'm doing, just putting that on top so I know that that's A. Her name's Michelle and I love her channel. She's got a sense of humour that I love, and she always makes me smile. She has an obsession with the diamond paintings with the little old people, you know, little old grannies, and I think that's lovely. I love that. She does other paintings as well, obviously. But yeah, she's done a lot of Temu unboxings. If you're interested, go and check her channel out. I will show you now who she is. She's got 34 subscribers, I think, as of this morning. So go and show her some love. Tell her I sent you if you like. And yeah, and subscribe to her. It costs nothing. And let's boost her channel up for her. So yeah, so she had 34 subscribers. It's My Diamond Addiction. And yeah, she's Michelle. She's lovely. So go and check out her channel. I've just finished watching her latest video. And she had a Halloween diamond painting. And she also had the Last Supper diamond painting, which it's a special drill, and my mum is going to absolutely love that, so I went and ordered one. So thanks for showing me, Michelle. But yeah, she's lovely, so go and check her out. Let's boost her channel up. She's only got 34 subscribers. Let's get her there. She's yeah, she's funny. I like her. She cracks a bit of a joke, and I love that on channels. You can't be too serious all the time. It's nice to have a bit of a joke. So yeah, so go and see Michelle. So what's been happening with me? Well, 2 weeks ago, on Friday, I think it was the 11th, I woke up in the morning with a very unusual cough. And it was to the point where it was catching my breath. It was a bit scary because I'd never had a cough like that before. It was different. I can't explain it, but it was different. And took me ages to sort of clear it, but then it kept coming back through the day, and or through the morning, I should say. And it was worrying me because I'd never had, my chest felt different. And so I managed to get through the morning, and my partner asked me if I'd like something warm for lunch because it wasn't a very nice day. It was rainy and miserable. And I said to him, yes, I wouldn't mind either from the baker's a sausage roll or a meat pie. So he went down to the baker's to get lunch. And while he was gone, I was sitting here at my craft desk, and I got this taste in my mouth that I thought, okay, that's not good. So I got the taste of blood in my mouth. I got a tissue, spat into the tissue, and yet right enough, there was a fair bit of blood. So panic station. So that scared the crap out of me, basically. So when he got back, I said to him, you need to take me to the hospital. This is what's happened. My chest doesn't feel right. You know, can we go? Because it's the hospital that we go to is half an hour away, so we need to leave now. So we packed up in the car quickly, drove over to the hospital, half an hour away. Oops, and I've spilled all my diamonds. They checked me in at the desk. The nurse told me to take a seat. She'd call me in shortly. She took all my details, what was going on. I had to fill out a form. I was shaking like a leaf because I was obviously scared. I didn't know what was going on. And never experienced anything like this in my life. And worried my partner too, of course, because, yeah, we didn't know what was happening. Anyway, she called me in. She did my obs, had a COVID test, you know, all the tests for influenza, all that sort of stuff that they do, the swabs. Did all that. It was all negative. Anyway, I sat down and waited. I was there for... we were there for probably 4 hours, which wasn't too bad. Could have been a lot longer, could have been worse. It was 4 or 5 hours. Anyway, the doctor called me in, and I went in, and he listened to my chest. He listened to what I had, you know, told him what happened. He listened to my chest, and he listened round the left side of my chest, just under my breast, and he said to me, have you ever been diagnosed with a heart murmur? And I said, no. And I thought, oh, that doesn't sound good. And he said to me, well, I've heard something there. He said, I don't know. He said, can you go and have this test done as soon as you possibly can? It's an echocardiogram. He said it's an ultrasound of your chest, or like a CT scan of your chest. And I said, okay. So it was an ultrasound, actually. The first one was an ultrasound. So it was an ultrasound on my chest. She put the gel on and used the machine and everything. So, yeah, so I booked an appointment for the following Friday morning. And I left from my mum's because I went to mum's on the Wednesday and asked mum to come with me to have the test done. And she said, yep. And we thought we'd make a day of it. We might go to a couple of shops before we head home, you know, all that sort of stuff. So we went to this place. It's 2 hours from where my mum lives, so we drove there. We left 6 o'clock in the morning. My appointment was about 8:45. We were we were a little bit late because there was roadworks. So I rang them on the way and just said, look, we're coming, just a little bit late getting there. And she said, that's fine. So we got there, sat down for a few minutes, got called in to have the echocardiogram done. And then she came out and she said to me, look, I found something that's not right. I can't remember it's all such a blur. I can't remember whether she said there was something not right with my heart or my lungs. Mum can't remember either. It was just, it all happened so quickly. And she said to me, you need to have this other test done as soon as possible. I have rung the people that are doing the test to try and get you in today as soon as possible. Anyway, these people rang me back pretty much straight away, and I got an appointment for 3 o'clock that afternoon. So that was hours and hours away. I mean, this is only about 10 o'clock in the morning, and this is 3 o'clock in the afternoon, and it's a 2-hour trip home. So I was worried about getting home and getting Mum home, because Mum can't drive. So I hummed and hawed, and she said, no, look, you really need to have this test done today. So if you can get an appointment, please take it. So 3 o'clock, I got the test for her, and I said, yep, okay. So made the appointment for the test. In the meantime, I've rung my daughter and said to her, look, Grandma's here with me. I don't know what's happening, but I've got a funny feeling I won't be coming home tonight. You might need to bring me some stuff over for the hospital, and because that's just, I had a feeling, and you might need to come and get your grandma. And she said, yep, no worries. So my poor daughter left work. She told work what was happening, left work, went and packed my stuff, went and got her stuff, some of her stuff, and came straight over. And she got there just in time for me to have the second test done. So I went into the place, with my mum and my daughter. I was shaking like a leaf by this stage. I was scared. I was packing it, to be honest. I just didn't know what was happening. And I'm sure you can sympathise with me and agree that it's a scary thing when you don't know, when no one tells you anything and you don't know exactly what's happening. My first thought was, oh my God, am I, going to have a heart attack? And they're worried about that. What's happening? Guys, I finished kidding up, sorry, but I'm going to keep talking because I've still got a bit more to tell you yet. So I went in, had the test done. So the first test is a gas test. They put this, they block your nose, they put a peg over your nose, put this tube thing in just in the front of your mouth for you to blow through, and you have to breathe in and out through the tube only. And it's a gas, and it's like a smoky barbecue. It's really weird. He said to me, you'll think you're at a barbecue. Anyway, so I did that first, and then the second part of the test was having dye injected, so that it goes through your body so it can see what's happening in your body, and which was fine. I had no reaction to that or anything else. So I had it done. He asked me to wait in the waiting room for the results, and he came out and he said to me, look, you've tested positive to PEs, which is pulmonary embolisms, which are blood clots in your lungs. And I thought, oh no, how the heck did that happen? Where'd that come from? Was not expecting that at all. I'd been breathless, but then I'd had severe anemia, so just assumed that the breathlessness was from that, because I was due to have a second iron infusion, which didn't happen because of my blood pressure. My blood pressure had been sky high, which maybe this explains why my blood pressure was so high. So he said to me, look, I'm going to print the report out. You need to go straight to the hospital. So I thought, okay, great. So I'm so glad my daughter came over. I'm so glad that Mum and Mum were there to help me, because I had to drive to the hospital in my car. My daughter drove in hers, and I was just shaking the whole way. It was just a scary experience. I'd never been through this before. I'd heard of it, but I didn't know, and I knew it was serious, but I didn't know. I mean, how did I get it? What happened? So I went straight to the hospital, went to the emergency department, checked in there. The nurse triaged me and did blood pressure, temperature, all the usual stuff. They kept asking me questions like, had you had operations? Had you travelled? And I said, no, nothing like that. Is there blood clots in your family? No. Have you ever had them before? No. There was no answer. I had nothing. And when the doctor saw me, when I got called in to the hour and the doctor saw me, he said to me, look, we need to get you onto a course of blood thinners. and which I had heard about, obviously. My dad's on blood thinners. And I had my first injection in the stomach on the Friday night. And he said to me, look, we need to admit you into the hospital. You're going to have to probably be here for a couple of days until we can get all this under control and find out what's happened, where it's come from. And I said to him, the only thing I can think of that possibly could have contributed to it would have been my inactivity because of my low iron, my severe anemia. Those months that I wasn't working, I would spend all day, every day in the lounge chair because everything was an effort. I couldn't function. I was out of breath the minute I moved, and just to even go to the bathroom, I'd come back and I was so exhausted and out of breath. I would sit in that chair and I'd stay there for days. So I'm thinking, and they're thinking now, that that's where this has come from, my inactivity, because I couldn't do anything. I couldn't walk. Having a shower was an effort. Some mornings I didn't even have a shower. The mornings I did have a shower, I'd have to sit on the bath to catch my breath and get dressed while I was sitting on the bathtub. So there was hardly any walking or anything through the day for me because I couldn't do it. So that's where we're thinking it came from. It's the only explanation that we can think of. There's no other explanation. So went into hospital having injection in the stomach morning and night for the clots. Now, it doesn't dissolve the clot. I thought it did, but it doesn't. It actually thins your blood so that the blood runs around the clot and through the clot, so that the clot breaks up in your body of its own accord. Your body breaks the clot up itself, and it just goes back into the bloodstream, basically. It doesn't dissolve the clot at all, which is what I thought would be the case. So, and I was put on other medications as well because I'm having a few women's problems to do with menopause, so I won't go into that, but I have to have an operation soon for that. And yes, so anyway, there's so much stuff that's just gone on. So I'm on lots of medications, and I was moved to another ward in the hospital, and after the injections in the stomach, the thinners, I was put on medication, oral medication, thinner medication. So I'm on that now. They just had to move me to a ward till I started taking it to make sure I had no reaction to it, which I didn't. While I was there on last Sunday, in the other ward, I forgot to tell you, I had a second iron infusion. So that took 4 hours. So that didn't finish till about 8 o'clock on the Sunday night. But yeah, so that hopefully that has helped my iron levels again. But the only symptom I've got now is still a little bit out of breath, and they've told me that that will improve. It's not as bad as it was. I'm feeling a lot better. I just need to keep getting up and moving around. I need to keep walking, so I've been trying to walk as much as I can. I'm hoping, when all this is done and I've seen the other specialist and had the small operation, that I can finally get back to work, because I'm sick of sitting at home, guys. I've had enough. It just gets to you when you're doing nothing, when you're sitting here day after day doing nothing, when you could be out working, even a few hours a day. It's something. But so as it stands at the moment, I'll be on the blood thinner medications for at least 6 months. I'm being reviewed in 3 months. I have to have, and I had a leg scan done last Tuesday afternoon, I think it was, and they found a clot in my leg. So I don't know if you know much about clots and PEs and all that sort of stuff, but usually when you've got clots in your lungs, it's come from somewhere else. It doesn't work the other way around. It doesn't start in the lungs and go somewhere else. So they checked my legs out. My left leg's fine, it's perfect. And I said to the girl when she went to do my right leg, I bet there's one in this leg. And there's clots in my right leg. So that's where the PEs on the lungs have come from. So they break off the clot in the leg and they go up into the lungs. So that's what's happened. So, which is good, because at least they've found that I do have a clot there in my leg that needs, you know, sorting out. But the one in my leg had already started to break up, so they're not too concerned with that. But in 3 months, I need to go and have another ultrasound on my leg and another chest x-ray. So, or another CT scan on my chest. So, yeah, so that's where we're pretty much at the moment. I have a specialist appointment on the 15th of August, and I'm hoping they can get this these ladies' problems under control, and hopefully I will feel so much better. It's just, this has been going on for many years, and I have not found a doctor who is willing to help me like the doctor that I've been going to now. He has done so many tests. He's referred me to this specialist. He's going to be shocked when he finds out I've been in the hospital, because he obviously didn't pick up on the clot, because maybe he didn't hear it at the time, or it wasn't there, I don't know. But he has done so many tests. He's been wonderful. So I finally found a doctor that's listening to me and getting some things sorted and getting them done now. I mean, I'm 55 at the end of the year, and this is supposed to be, you know, I'm supposed to be through menopause. I'm supposed to be over all this stuff. I'm supposed to be, you know, trying to stay healthy. And it's a bit hard when, you know, all this stuff is happening and piling on top of each other, and it's never been looked at. And the clot in my leg, by the way, they tell me, has been there for some time. I don't know how they know, but it's been there for quite a while. So how long have I been not feeling well? How long have I been getting around with PEs or clots in my lungs? I don't know. So I am so grateful that doctor picked up on that at the hospital that Friday, that there was something not right, because if he hadn't have, I don't know what would have happened. So it's a bit scary to think about, really. So just making you aware that if there's something not right, go and get it checked, because you just don't know. I had no idea. I've heard other people say that they've had them from when they've come back from travelling or operations, certain medications, but there's nothing in my history that of any of that sort of stuff. So I haven't travelled overseas since 2014, so that wouldn't have happened back then. This wouldn't have happened now from back then. So, and I haven't travelled anywhere recently like that. So, yeah, so if there's something not right, go and get it checked out. You just never know. It can be scary, but at least you know, and that you can get it sorted and fixed, because, it's a bit of a worry thinking that people are getting around out there and not knowing, that this is happening to their bodies. So, so that's what's happened, guys. I'm on the mend. I'm getting there. I'm a lot better than what I was. As I said, I'm still a little bit out of breath, but they've told me that will improve. But other than that, it's freezing cold here. It's still winter, obviously. It's been raining. It's supposed to rain for the next 5 or 6 days non-stop. I know we need the rain, but I don't want it to flood. I don't want any more floods. We had floods last year and the year before, and it's horrible. There's road closures, and it's not good. So hopefully the rain settles. Would be nice to get a bit of sunshine, but I think Willow, our beautiful dog Willow, she's a bit depressed too, I think, because there's no sun out. So hopefully the weather improves as well, and we've got just over one more month of winter. So if we can get through that. August is not a very nice month. Usually it's quite windy and chilly. It's actually like sleety stuff outside at the moment. It's very icy. It's, not nice at all. So anyway, guys, so I've kitted that up into my containers over there. I'm going to start this today. I have 2 parcels, I think, or 1 parcel coming from Temu. Not sure if it will come today or tomorrow. When it does, I will do an unboxing. It has a little bit of cross stitch, a little bit of diamond painting, and some other items in it, so keep an eye out for that. thank you so much for watching. Please go and visit Michelle's channel. And yeah, show her some love, show her some, let's get her subscribers up. So My Diamond Addiction, don't forget. But yeah, thank you so much for watching, and I will see you in the next video. Have a good day, guys. Bye.